This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 683 for November 23rd, 2020. The Irish hello.
You say goodbye.
I say hello.
Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston. Joining me as always is Moonpier.
Hello.
And the Nymph.
Hey, everybody.
First things first, we are almost done with November, which means the 3 years of 2020 is almost over, and we're racing towards the end of the year episodes. If you've recently started listening to the show, we the three of us, take the last 2 weeks of the year off. But we don't leave you high and dry on the main show. You'll have 2 more episodes at the end of the year. You have the top 10 episode and then the predictions for next year episode, where we also go back and we listen to our hilariously incorrect predictions from the previous year.
Yep.
So you also come in here too, because like we've been doing for the last couple of years, we need your help with both of these episodes. So I've created the Google Forms, as I've done for the last couple of years. You can go get it, the link to both of those in the new announcements channel on the Discord. That way they won't immediately scroll off the screen. So you'll go pick your top game of 2020, and we'll tabulate all of those for the community top 3 picks. And then if you can send in your predictions for 2021 as well, some of the best stuff that's come out of the predictions episode has been everybody's predictions. So make sure you get both of those in. Probably have like 2 weeks on both of those. So you got a little bit of time, but kind of not as much time as you'd think. So that's in the Discord. If you're not on the Discord yet, number 1, how dare you? Number 2, the link is on the right-hand side of the page, tvgp.tv. It's open and available for everyone to join. You just need the link. Patreon.com/E1M1. The ones are numbers. We had a whole bunch of Foodcast talk this week for the Outcast, the exclusive audio that you'll get as a patron. $5 a month is the recommended tier. You get everything at that level, and it's only a month, not per episode, not per week. It's pretty cheap. Probably too cheap for the amount of audio we put out every week.
Yeah, and also, let me just do this really quick. It's also worth mentioning that this show is basically funded by you, the listeners.
Yes.
This helps Boston cover the costs. We're literally not making money on this. I wish we could. I wish I could quit my job and,
please, more patrons. Yes, please.
Yeah, let's make every episode 6 hours long, because that's what I like to see.
The amount of content that even just Moon and I, nevertheless, the 3 of us could produce a week based on that is incredible. If you think you're enjoying Critical Misses right now, I got some plans if we had a little bit of money.
You guys help make this possible, and even if you just view it like some of us do with free-to-play games, view it as a tip jar.
Sure.
That's how, I'm a patron of our own show. I'm also a patron of 5 or 6 other places, because it's you guys produce content that I like, so I'm gonna throw some money into there. So it at the moment, it just helps fund the show, get us up to that goal, that $250 a month, and guess what? Boston has to play scary games. It's great.
That's right. I have agreed to it for some reason.
Let's start 2021 off correctly.
That's right. So that's patreon.com/E1M1 Moon. What have you been playing this past week?
I've been playing a whole lot of...
Okay.
So we'll start with Apex Legends, as we always do. Guess what? Apex Legends is great. Guess what? The Battle Pass is a bit more balanced, it feels like, in the past.
Oh, good.
I also think that they did just drop 10 levels for everybody, I think. They were just you have 5 levels or whatever.
Right. One of those gotcha game apologies where it's the server went down for an hour. Here's a bunch of free currency.
Exactly. Unfortunately, due to my lack of playtime of everything in general recently, It appears like my Apex squad has moved on.
No.
As it turns out, there is life after Moon. And me, including the bonus XP, is level 17 on my battle pass with 70-something days to go. So plenty of time. I am playing it about as much as I need to. Don't tell me I say that every season.
I was just gonna say, like, I see the Sonic cycle repeating again. 7 days, I got plenty of time. Arrow pointing down to, we're getting a little close here. I gotta play a little more. Arrow pointing to, oh god, oh no. Arrow pointing to.
Yes,
I'm gonna start making notes every time someone's like, I got plenty of time for this battle pass, and I'm gonna date it, and I'm gonna ask you when that battle pass ends, and then I'll check in on you on that.
Oh, it's the quintessential what could go wrong, or it's been really quiet today. Like
you're raising your own death flag.
Yeah, exactly. But as I was mentioning, there is life after Moon because my wife and her crew are number 1, gold in ranked.
Oh boy.
1. And number 2, battle pass level 37 last time I checked.
Oh my.
Like 3 weeks into the season starting.
God.
It's ridiculous. And
That's higher than my Destiny 2 battle pass.
And you've only been doing that for 900 days. I mean, come on.
That's right. That's right.
But I mean, no, it's fine. You know, it's one of those things where, like, I get home, I've got stuff to do. She's been home for like 4 hours already, so that's fine. They have a squad, they're having fun. That's perfectly fine by me. It is a little bit sad occasionally for me when I'm listening to them having the time of their life, and I'm sitting there solo dropping with randos, and it's just like,
Right.
oh,
I'm
that
available.
used to be me,
Yeah.
but it's not anymore.
Get the sepia tone. Oh, we had so much fun back in the last season.
It's the Destiny 2 introduction where it's like the sepia tone who you beat the game with previously and who you beat the raids with. It's that.
Oh, I don't talk to half of those people anymore. Whoops.
Yep. In my case, all of them except for my wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's fine. Apex is still fun. And literally, I'm just dropping in, playing a couple of games and dropping out. Like, I'm using it as a palate cleanser, essentially. And I'm not going to lie, every time I open it up, I do click that right stick and be like, is Boston online? Can I play Apex with Boston? Can I start a new crew with me and Boston?
Hey, there we go.
Boston is never playing it.
That's the weird part about the... Yeah, but also, like, that's the weird part about that system is I feel like I understand why they show you all of your friends that are on the current platform. That makes sense. That's integrated. I don't understand why they don't have at least like a close friends system where it's like, show me, no matter what they're doing on the other platform or on PC or whatever, show me if they're online or not. I don't understand why they don't have, maybe once they get out of beta, they'll have some of that, but it'll be easier for you to like send me a text if you see me online, be like, hey man, you want to knock out some Apex? And be like, oh yeah, cool.
Oh yeah. Honestly, I'm too polite for that. I will never text somebody or anything like that and be like, hey, you want to play something?
It's like, the ultimate millennial thing. You don't want to bother anybody, no matter what.
Dude, take millennial and add English to that mix.
Oh yeah, you got it both
10
ways.
times worse. It's just like, no, I will not ask for anything. I will not see if anybody wants to play games with me. I will sit here quietly and play by myself and weep in the night.
The gravy on top of this is I'm a stay-at-home parent during a global quarantine. So I'm home all the time, and more often than not, as long as it isn't Sunday, I have some window of availability. So like it's very funny that, but I get it. I also don't want to bother anyone.
Yeah, Rob and Justin can be playing something which I am very interested in playing co-op with them, and even if they're playing it separately, I will always see if they're in a party. If they are in a party of a Friday, I'll just jump in because that's our scheduled boy hour.
Oh, sure.
And I'm calling it boy hour now because I have to go to bed at like midnight, so it can't be boys' night. It's like boy
like
hour
this.
by the time Rob gets done with his stuff.
This is just your Brooklyn Nine-Nine moment.
Yes. But like if they're in a party or something, I will always like send a message to people beforehand and be like, yo, can I join in the party? I'll never just jump into a party. That's just not what I do.
Yeah.
Screw that, man. You just gotta appear.
It's me,
Make yourself
ta-da!
heard.
No.
It's the Irish hello.
Dude, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? It takes all of my effort to just do this show and talk and know that people hear my voice. That's scary still to me.
I'm so tired after this show. Like, I just, yeah, I sit in the office for like a minute or two and just like, bleh.
I wait for everything to load and then I go back and take a nap before I have to go to work.
That's the best plan.
Yes. But yeah, no, I'm playing Apex and I'm still enjoying it, still having a good time.
Moon, I'll tell you what. This week specifically, after tonight, text me anytime and I'll play Apex with you.
There you go.
It's just because you're not in work all week. This is like a one-off chance.
This is your chance.
Yeah, that way you don't send me a text message at 2 p.m. of, hey, you want to play? And it's like, no, my phone's off. I'm sleeping, dude.
Yeah.
I'm in work until like 5 every day, so you're fine. You don't have to worry about that. I will be getting home as you are waking up. It works out perfectly.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Are you playing on Xbox exclusive?
Yes.
And they have crossplay, cross whatever?
Yep.
I'll probably just download it on my house. I haven't... Dude, I turned that thing on for the first time today. You know how many updates I had?
Oh, yeah.
Way too many.
Yes.
Anyway,
But yeah,
sorry.
it's okay. I played some more Call of Duty. I got all of my 1,000 base gamer score in that. And
Nice.
once again, my true achievements broke my Twitter link with my account. So therefore, it didn't pop up the big message saying, congratulations, Moon has defeated Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Right.
Like, timely. New Call of Duty, old Call of Duty beaten. Yeah. It's the way it should be. It's fine. It's a perfectly fine Call of Duty campaign that feels super duper rote at this point. Like it feels like for year after year after year, their campaign is always like, look, good guy, bad guy, ha ha ha, terrorism, ha 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 ha.
Right.
Like, okay, whatever.
Left trigger, right
least,
trigger.
At least the Division had the dollar flu, which was strange considering it's 2020 now. But you know, it was something new and unique and original. Same with Division 2. The campaign here is just very rote and samey and now you're in a gunship and now you're doing this. It's like, dude, I did this last year and the year before.
I did that last year in space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's fine. The one good thing they added in was Farah, like the lead female character in that game. I think is incredible. Like you get to do her backstory, including as a child, and it's shockingly hard. Like mentally to go through that journey,
right?
But it's fine. I got to play as a British dude doing a SWAT invasion on a terrorist house in the night vision, so that's great.
Yeah,
you know. And Captain Price is back, which fun fact, something I learned because I was like, the dude who does Captain Price has got a hell of a good voice. I wonder how much voice acting he's done. Not a lot, apparently.
Oh, that's a bummer.
He speaks with a very posh British accent, so I was like, curious, I wonder where he's from. He's from Liverpool, where I'm from.
Okay.
Where you don't have the accent that I have, and you don't have the accent that he has if you come from this city.
Right.
You have a very distinct accent, which is pleasing to the ears, but also at the same time, it's like a cheese grater to the ears, depending on how you feel.
Right. There's no middle ground on that one.
There is no middle ground. It's like, oh, you like Irish? Well, you take Irish and you throw some Middle Eastern in there and you're sorted. You've got the Liverpool accent.
Right.
Like, you either love it or you hate it. There is no middle between. But, you know, it's a good game. The voice acting is good. Like, let's just say it. It's one of the most beautiful campaigns I've ever played. Like, that game is gorgeous on so many levels. Literally, my wife turned to me at one point and was like, I thought you were watching a movie. I didn't realize you were in a cutscene in a video game. Like, it can be that good. But it's fine. It's Call of Duty. It's 130 gigs. It's uninstalled. Now I have the space for Destiny if I choose to go down that rabbit hole again. We'll see. I don't know. It's tempting because it's like, oh God, Boston's right there. He can help you get the full gamer score on it, and then you'll be.
But you won't even bother him to play Apex. Why are you going to bother him to play Destiny?
Because if I install Destiny and he sees me playing Destiny, he will bother me.
I'll just hop right in your party, and be like, hey, what's up?
Then you'll just constantly be in Apex trying to drag him in.
Basically,
That's right.
what I'll do is I'll load Destiny on my PC. and I'll have Apex on my Xbox downstairs, and then when he sees me playing it, Destiny, he'll jump in, and I'll be like, no, dude, I'm on my Xbox playing Apex. You better come over.
I gotcha.
Like, do the bait and switch, the Destiny honeypot, if you will.
That's right. That's right.
You know, just reel him in and trap him in Apex.
That's right.
But yes, Call of Duty is fine. Oh boy. So, the only other thing I've been playing is Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
I started that this week.
Okay.
Fortunately and unfortunately, which I will get to in my segment.
Don't. No. Somebody else go first, please. Somebody else talk about this.
This is a very pretty game.
Yes, it is.
I lit a house on fire.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm guessing PS5 for Boston?
Yes, when I remember to pick the right version, I'm playing on the PS5.
Okay. Series X for me and PC Nymph?
No, PS4 Pro.
Okay, PS4 Pro. I did see you set a house on fire. It was a very beautiful fire that you lit about walking through fire to get the treasure. It makes sense, logically. It makes sense.
Yeah. I thought so too, and apparently the game agreed with me, because after I lit that house on fire, I could get to the treasure. So
Nice.
I don't know what I was supposed to do. I don't think it was as elaborate as I made it.
I feel like you called in your inner Viking. It's like, I'm just going to set it on fire. The whole thing.
All I know is all I know is that I saw that they had thatch roofing, and I was like, I wonder if I could light that on fire. I somehow caught myself on fire, rolled around on the roof, caught the roof on fire, got down, looked at the house. I'm like, yeah, this seems like the way it should go, and then took a picture of it.
You're still in Norway.
No, I'm up to the point where I'm at the village, a little past that, where you can create, the one that you're creating.
Okay.
And I'm actually to the south helping someone so that they can be an ally of mine.
Okay, so you've taken your first pledge, and you pledged you pledged to Gloucestershire. Okay, so you went to the south.
Suma.
Yep, you nailed it.
Yes.
Or Soma. Suma? I don't remember.
Soma, I think, yes. I'm English and I can't pronounce half of these things because it's not English, it's Miggle English, which is the worst.
I pulled up the map when you're first in Norway, and you get that long string of text of the name of the region you're in, and I'm like,
Reifjeheiden or whatever it is.
Yeah. Like, no.
Yeah.
Okay, so Nim's up to town building. He's gone south to Soma. Boston?
I'm in the first village you start in.
Okay.
So I didn't have a lot of time to play this week because of the other BS I was dealing with something else. And so, number one, I like that before you start the game, they have these like recommended list of options that you can go through, and it's a lot of stuff like color blindness, subtitles, the whole
which type of mode is it? Like adventurous, serious, or easy?
Yeah,
kind of thing.
And like you can set all that stuff even before you get to the main menu. And I like that a bunch of options are turn off blood, which I did, turn off decapitations, which I did, turn off nudity, which I did. Which I'm trying to like scoot this M to a T.
This is literally just so you can play in front of your kid, correct?
100%. And when I turned off all that stuff, the game had a little message on the right-hand side of the screen that said, this turns it off for the large part of the game, but some scenes may still have this. And I was like, that should be fine. It'll be fine.
Yeah. There'll be a cutscene here or there, probably.
And that's what it turned out to be, which was, I went through the whole spoiler alert for the beginning of an Assassin's Creed game. You're playing as a kid, and your mom and dad die.
Oh, I completely forgot about that sequence.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was fine. We're having everything's great. You make a pact with a king, and you're having a party. Everybody's dancing. It's great. Murder. And the cutscene was full of murder and blood and all that, and that's, of course, the only part that my kid wanted to watch. Which, fair enough, is a pretty good scene, especially like when that wolf is attacking you and it's getting all glitchy, and you like hit the wolf in the neck with the axe and it gets super glitchy. Love it. Anytime the Assassin's Creed games do that effect, 100% in on it.
Dude, you've got a lot of treats ahead of you.
Yes. So I did the tutorial island stuff, which I thought was done really well. Because I feel like much more so in the other games. Like, they introduced you to the control scheme super slowly. So
yeah, one quick thing they don't mention: if you want to whistle to get someone's attention, you just tap the left on your D-pad. If you hold it, it calls your mount. If you tap it, it's the whistle to get somebody's attention. Something I figured out today after 25 hours of playing the game and wondering where the whistle button was.
So I landed in that first village. I played dice, which was actually a pretty good game. I thought that's good. I did the rap battle, which was pretty good. I feel like I might surprisingly enjoy that as things go on.
Shockingly fun considering some of the things people say to you.
And what are you talked to a whole bunch of people.
Game?
Yeah, the drinking game, which is pretty okay. I talked to a whole bunch of people, and they're like, yeah, go see this lady over there. And I was like, well, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go look for all these yellow and blue dots on my map, because they're pretty close. And then fought a dude that had pledged to someone else. And
the Dragger or whatever?
Yeah, I didn't realize that the red skull next to the yes, I'd like to fight choice means that he's going to be difficult and one-shotted me.
Yep.
Learn by doing.
Have you beat him yet, Moon?
Remember when I was talking about how I looked at the map and then saw this area is recommended level 1 and this area is recommended level 156?
Right.
Yeah.
Pay attention to that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, and even that threw me off, because I'll tell you right now, you're going to get to a point where you're going to have a quest that brings you into that level 280 whatever area.
Mm-hmm.
You can go in there because you're not going there to fight things. This is story related.
It's a story related quest.
I didn't know that, so I'm sailing the southern seas trying to figure out, okay, because I think when I finished up the main mission before it brought me up there, I was at power level like 19, and it seriously wants you to be like power level 287 or something like that to continue the quest. And I'm like,
you're just like, no.
All right, what the hell? So I did everything, like all the dots, all the things. Like I have check marks for all the artifacts, what is it, gold or wealth or whatever, and the mystical stuff.
Yeah.
And I was still only like 19 or something like that. So I'm like, well, screw it. I'm just going to go in there and do it. And it's just all story.
Yeah,
so you can
stick to the roads and get to the town. That's all you need.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like playing WoW.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crossing the barrens, avoid all of the alliance.
Yeah, right. Speaking of sailing, I do really like the option to just sail to your marker. There's going to be sometimes I like sailing, and there are going to be sometimes where it's like, just get me from A to B. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah, and every time you get to a new port, it unlocks a fast travel point as well for you. So it's not just the synchronization points that are fast travel anymore.
Right.
Now there is the thing. Have you noticed my favorite touch yet?
I don't think so.
The lady has I'm playing as the lady. She has a crow. And whenever you do the synchronization, it doesn't eagle cry. It does a crow caw instead.
Oh, great. I didn't notice that. Because, of course, the first thing I did was, like, go climb that first point.
Yeah. So, as I mentioned, I'm like 25 hours into this game.
Yeah.
I think I'm like 10.
Like, here is the game. This big, huge, wide open surface area. Here is how much I've done at 25 hours. Like
it's like a fraction of a fraction.
Like, my map's not even that big yet.
Right.
Yeah. So, if you follow me on social media, you will have noticed that I've been posting some screenshots and as my good night to everyone. I have been saying good night, and here's a scrandshot of Valhalla to look how beautiful this game is.
It's such a good looking game, man.
I love AC games, so shut up.
Also, I know it's the same on Series X, but on PS5, 4K 60, real good with this game. It's seeing that like synchronization turnaround in 60 frames is just like, yep. That's the good stuff.
I'm saying it still looks really good on the Pro too.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah. Like, if you happen to follow me on Xbox, don't look at my recent screenshots. And I know that's like telling somebody, don't look in the box. You don't want to spoil what you get for Christmas.
It's a snake.
But seriously, there is giant spoilers in my screenshot folder on Xbox now, and I haven't saved them and deleted them yet. So don't look.
Right.
because after you get your settlement up to a certain level, a person shows up, gives you a mission, and you go to a third landmass.
Oh no. Okay.
I am not going to say anything else. I literally cannot say anything else without giant spoilers ahead, and I may or may not have been in that landmass for the last 8 hours.
Oh boy.
So yeah, beware of that ahead.
Might be able to guess it.
Probably, but I ain't gonna say nothing, and I don't want any guesses because I don't want to give anything away.
You know, I do have to say my one real friction point in this game so far are the controls. And I feel like they have really drawn a line in the sand this time where they don't have alternate control schemes. It is just, you can remap the buttons if you want, but we're not going to have like a Valhalla and standard option. It's just like, hey, you need to get used to, for some reason, the dodge is on square, and you're just going to hit that and get rid of all your stamina all the time. So you get used to it.
That's so the controls, the way that your character interacts with the environment, and stamina. I don't understand why stamina is even in this game, because the only time you have it is when you're fighting. That's it. And it drains fast. So it's kind of pointless.
Can you upgrade your stamina with the massively giant skill trees?
Yes.
Okay.
I would assume at some point you can. I haven't come across any of it yet, but
you can upgrade that and the adrenaline, which Boston wouldn't have got to the adrenaline.
Yeah, I don't think I have that yet. Yeah.
The way the character interacts with the environment, this has always been an Assassin's Creed thing, where there is a wide open door and I'm running right in through it, and then all of a sudden I'm in the door jam because my character decided to try to cling to something.
Or like you're climbing up on the roof and it's like, no.
Yeah.
So just go in the door.
The biggest thing is don't hold any buttons anymore. Like that's the thing I had to teach myself.
That's just sprinting though. Like that's not even me holding, that's just me trying to run through a freaking house. The door is wide enough that I can do it, and then I'm just in a wall. Or like we were just talking about with climbing too, there was one battle, like raid sequence that I was doing where we had to get over a wall. I got over the wall, but then they wouldn't uncling to that wall. And you're supposed for PlayStation, you have to hold down circle or tap it and they'll uncling. No, just wouldn't do it. Finally got her to uncling from that wall to jump on top of a pig fence somehow. And this entire time I'm being attacked and I can't fight back or do anything because she's clinged to a damn wall that I'm trying to get off of. And it's just aggravating as hell.
Understandable. Don't get me wrong. I completely understand. Like these are some problems with the AC series. They have been for a while. I do believe they've gotten a lot better. I actually think Origins, Odyssey, and this one are a lot better than they used to be.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Like they used to be really, really bad for that stuff. Like it still has its quirks here and there, but to be honest, I'm more than willing to forgive that stuff. If people can forgive the Fallout games and the litany of bugs that those things have, it's like, you know, I'm fine with the occasional door bashing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying these are reasons for why you shouldn't buy the game. I'm just saying they're still in there for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah. So far it feels good. It's going to take me, I feel like I have a good handle on the climbing. That feels largely the same as the last two games, but it's going to take me a real long time for me to get used. This is the point where I have to pull off the Band-Aid, and I just have to get used to the new control scheme for Assassin's Creed, and that's fine. It's my fault that I was stubborn for the last two games, and it's going to take me some time this time. I will have about 150 hours to get used to it, so I've got plenty of time.
It sounds like some Stockholm Syndrome stuff right there.
I love it. Everything's going great.
I think I did the transition pretty good because, like, with Origins, I reverted to older controls.
Yeah.
With Odyssey, I had this weird hybrid setup where it was, like, half old, half new, and with this one, it's all new, so... Minus me doing the black flag thing and just confusing myself for a while. Like, I think I'm a bit more used to it now, and Honestly, stamina will barely come into play with the game except for major fights. When you have a quote-unquote boss fight, that's when you'll have to like pay attention to the stamina and the whole dodging mechanic thing.
Which is kind of my whole point of why the hell is it even in this game?
Sure.
Because the problem with it is if it's not, the dodging gives you invincibility frames, and if there was no stamina, you would literally just dodge around somebody until they stopped attacking, and then you kill them.
Yeah. Because
half the time, at least right now, you can't even interrupt whoever you're fighting anyway. They can interrupt you, but you can't interrupt them, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ubisoft.
No, it has issues. But no, I don't. I'm nowhere near far enough in the game to say this is better or worse than the previous two. I haven't touched enough of it. It's interesting. I like some of the things they've added, but there's so much content again. I'm worried that this is getting to a Unity level of content where it's just like, enough with the chests, enough with the stupid building of rocks to hit a certain plane, enough with the riddler puzzles that you've put in the game for some reason now.
Oh boy.
Like,
that's
I'm
trouble
sorry,
for me.
I've got to get high as a kite and solve this mushroom trip like puzzle. Okay, sure, why not?
Okay. Jeez.
Like, yeah, there's a lot going on in this game.
Yeah.
And just like in the old in Odyssey though, I do think the world events is where the fun is. Like,
yeah.
I like the story. I like the story so far. I like the characters. In all open world games, it's the bonkers that's really fun.
Yeah.
Like, in Odyssey, there was that little girl who lived on the island where it was all about producing clay. So she literally made new friends by making them out of clay.
That's right. That was a good one.
Like, in this one, you'll run across Axehead, which you've probably seen the screenshot of on Twitter.
Oh, no, but I know who you're talking about now.
Yeah.
Because I actually did just run into him recently.
Mm-hmm. So if you get like that little shiny Norse symbol that indicates a world event, just go do it because they are insane and fun.
You know, speaking of Twitter, this has been one of the games that surprisingly I haven't, on my Twitter feed, not a lot of people have been talking about. And if they've been talking about it, they said a lot of people are saying like, hey, I've been playing an Assassin's Creed game for a while. This one kind of isn't doing it for me. Is this sort of what the most recent games are like? And people are saying, yeah, they're all pretty similar. And they're going, okay, maybe I'll just pass on this one then. It's like, that's fair. I mean, if it's not doing it for you, these games are so huge. Like, why punish yourself by, I'll just put another 100 hours into it and see if I like it. Like, just.
I knew there was a reason I hadn't started Watch Dogs 2 yet.
Hey, Watch Dogs 2 is good.
I know. I will say, though, can I just, like, I made a great Conan reference on Twitter, and nobody got it. Nobody liked it.
I didn't even see it.
I was so annoyed.
I don't think I saw it either.
I like your tweets. I would have thrown that a like.
It was Evio sitting on the throne in one of the longhouses, and I did the photo mode and like darkened everything, so it was basically just a black circle around Evio sitting on the throne. And the caption for it was, she sat on the throne with a heavy crown on her head, but that's a tale for another day. I was like, come on.
Nice.
Nobody got that reference.
I like that in person.
No, you won't.
I liked that.
Are you going to do the Death Stranding thing now and just give me...
Yeah. Ching.
Yep. There we go.
If you're listening to the audio version, the nymph just put a thumbs up emoji on Skype.
It was requested, so it was done.
That's right.
I wish I could talk and be more open about Assassin's Creed, but again, I'm literally hit spoiler points now. And it's just like, okay. But yeah, that's it. Nymph, take me away. Take me to your strange Japanese land of games with 56,000 titles.
So long this week.
Well, continuing on with Assassin's Creed, I'm not much further than Boston, but it is picking up for me. I'm still in this phase right now where I like exploring in the game. So it's just, I find a bunch of points. Yeah, I've got a couple missions over here that I could be doing, but hey, there's this gold point here, there's a blue point over here, and there's this thing that I don't know what the hell it is, but we're going to find out what it is.
Right.
And that's pretty much all I've been doing with this game. The only thing that's holding me back is from building more of my village is doing the stupid raids. I don't mind doing them, but sometimes they can be a pain when you've got so many things on the screen at once and you're just trying to figure out what you should be hitting. The lock-on is not that great sometimes.
It has its moments. I went down the stealth skill tree within that. So whenever I come across a place that can be raided, I literally go in, stealthily kill everybody, and then the only point where you need to raid is when you, spoiler alert, break into the monastery to steal all the church's riches. That needs to be done with 2 people to break down a door. So I kill everybody, and then call a raid to break down that door, and then I'm done.
Oh, see, I do... The raids themselves, I go full on loud, where it's us yelling and screaming on the beach and just fire to everything.
Right.
The rest of the game, it's just bow. That's all I use. And I'm sniping people from way too far away with these, which I like. Especially when you get, I think it's the Predator bow, where it automatically has the arrow drawn and you actually zoom in quite a lot.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I love it. I think there's a third type of bow. I'm not positive. Moon?
I think there's 4.
4? Okay.
The hunter bow, which is a good mid bow. Predator bow, which is basically the sniper. There is the quick bow, which is like a little SMG bow, where she holds 5 arrows and then fires them really, really quickly. And in Odyssey and Origins, I haven't run into it in this yet, but there is the shotgun bow, where she fires 5 at once.
Oh, right.
So... I've only run into the Predator and the regular Hunter bow. I like the Hunter.
I haven't got a Predator bow yet. I've got the Quick and I've got the Hunter, but no Predator.
I don't even know where I got the Predator. It must have been one of the wealth things that I picked up.
Yes.
So, but yeah, anyway, I love using the bows in this game, and it's just, all I do is perch up high, find something to shoot, and take them all out, and then I just saunter into the restricted area and grab everything and leave, so... That's my favorite thing to do in this game right now. That and lighting things on fire. Fire is beautiful in this game.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Next game that I played, Genshin Impact, still going with that. I am Adventure Rank 45, World Level 5, which I can change that to 6 now. I just don't want to, because I'm back at a good spot where not everything is just kicking my butt. So, and that's really it. They had 2 events going on this week for official. There was a Meteor event, and then there was like a web browser event where you could get a lot of the premium currency, so I did both of those.
Okay.
In like 10 hours or whatever, the 3rd stage of this Meteor event is supposed to unlock, and yeah, I'll knock that out. But it's just, I'm just grinding out stuff for characters, getting ready for the new story, so I pretty much just logging in, doing the daily, logging back out.
Yeah.
Which is... It's a good place for me to be right now, because this game took up a lot of my time and prevented me from playing a lot of other things. So I'm finally at that point where it's like, okay, I play it for an hour, maybe 2. I've done everything that I can do or want to do for now. And just set this aside and come back to it the following day.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
After that, I've been playing a lot of Cold Steel 4 again. Because, like I said, I was productive this week somehow.
Yeah.
I've hit a lot of minor plots throughout this game. I've pretty much reestablished my information network, which is basically you go back to a town that you've already visited in one of the previous 3 games. You find someone who used to be in your academy that's there gathering information. You talk to them, you get that, and then you move on to the next town.
Oh, interesting.
So you're meeting up with a lot of the old classes and stuff like that. I still haven't gotten any new characters yet, because I haven't gotten that far yet, but nothing's really... Like, I'm already level 80, or no, level 70, and that's because it took my previous saves from the previous games, and every time you load it up, it pretty much starts you at 50.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the level cap is like 288 or something like that in this game.
No big deal.
Yeah. That's when you start playing into like the impossible modes and all that stuff, which I never get into with these games. But they still do a really good... They still balance the game really well, where even though I'm only like 15 hours into the game, I'm already level 70, I'm not just walking through fights. Like, I still have to, stagger enemies appropriately so that I can do the counters and the full counters and all this fun stuff. I still have to think about what I'm doing. They did add an auto fight function, which I have not used yet, but they also have the 3x speed that they did add in the last game. So I'm assuming if you just use both of those, you're just blowing through random encounters and crap like that, which you don't need to worry about. So still a really fun game. I'm still really enjoying it. Still haven't found the person I'm looking for yet. Stuff happens. But that's pretty much all I played this week. I played a lot, but can't really talk about a whole lot yet.
Yeah. I finished up Astrobot. Astrobot's Playroom. Sorry. I wish I had a PSVR so I could play the first Astrobot. I collected all of the collectibles in the game, mostly because a lot of what they call artifacts in the game are all like accessories and stuff for the individual platforms. And a lot of those are great where it's like, you picked up a pocket station. Oh, that's great. You picked up the PlayStation 1 LCD screen. Oh yeah, I forgot about that thing. Look at those connectors. So I did all that stuff, and because I collected all that stuff, I got to fight the final boss of the game, which is, it's like the pinnacle of like PlayStation nostalgia. I'm absolutely not going to spoil it, but it is well worth going to do. It's a boss fight that is a really great piece of nostalgia, and it was actually probably the first like really challenging piece of content in that game.
Is it OG Laura, like Lara Croft?
No, jeez, I wish.
No, you get to fight Blasto.
Yeah.
Which probably nobody knows who I'm talking about.
Oh God, what a weird game. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with that. I'm not going for the platinum because a lot of it is like go into this level and as the frog costume bounce a ball on your head 5 times before it lands. It's like I'm okay. Like that's all that stuff sounds fun, but I have so much other stuff to play at the moment that I'm just gonna I finish it. I have my fun with it. I'm gonna move on.
That sounds like an introduction to video games for kids.
Yes. My kid played a bunch of it because there's one level, I don't remember which one it was. You are in like a marble suit and you flick the touchpad to roll the marble in that direction. And I had her play that, and that was a lot of fun. She had a lot of fun with that. But yes, highly recommend it. If you have a PS5, it's already installed. Just go play. I mean, everyone needs to play it. It is a shockingly great game. Destiny 2 Beyond Light / Season of the Hunt. Season of the Hunt started this week. The story stuff that they're continuing from previous seasons is really good. The new / old character, I don't even know how to talk about him, is fantastic. His Ghost's voice is much better than I was expecting it to be, even if they changed his name, and I'm not a super big fan of that, but I get it. The new seasonal event is called, oh God, what is that word? I don't remember. Something Hunt. It's a really interesting. What's that?
Moon Hunt.
I wish. Doesn't even taste.
I'm not like the most dangerous game over here, please.
The most dangerous game, Moon Pier. No, it's very much a Destiny word. It's one of those like big hive words. It's really interesting because you basically do core playlist stuff. So Strikes, Crucible, Gambit to charge up a lore. Once you have that charged up, you kind of slot a bunch of stuff into it. You choose which boss you want to fight on which location. 2 bosses per each one of the 2 locations. And then you have a bunch of modifiers you can put on there where you can specify the type of loot you want and the role on the loot you want. So you can say, all right, this boss is on Dreaming City and it will guarantee me a helmet drop. So I'm going to put in my second slot, I want that to roll mobility, and I want, in my third slot, I'll say, I want that to roll higher stats than normal. And some of those really powerful ones, you only have so many charges of, but they're cheap to go buy. Or you can say, well, this one drops auto rifles, so I want to exclude these rolls on them. So like I don't want these types of rolls on the perks, but maybe I want to include these ones because maybe I like auto rifles that roll like this. So it's a really interesting way to say I want this specific roll of this specific gun, and you're still going to roll the dice because it's still going to give you different scopes and different magazines types and stuff like that, but you're sort of honing a lot closer onto the things you really like. On the Beyond Light side, the raid Deepstone Crypt opened up yesterday, Saturday, for those of you that are listening to audio version. They cleared it, which means an entirely huge amount of stuff unlocked on Europa, including, so they sort of, that continued the storyline based on it. They did something like how they did with Last Wish, where canonically that team is the first one to open the Deepstone Crypt. These aren't raid spoilers. And because of what they did in the raid, now a lot of stuff is different on Europa. So now we're sort of dealing with the aftermath there. There's this closed doorway inside of the Braytech facility in the game up until yesterday. And I thought when it opened, it was just going to be like another room. It was like, well, here's the last dead robot for this quest, and here's the last thing for this quest. I was wrong. It opened up probably the largest play space I have seen in Destiny to this point. And it's way, way larger than the play space that we had access to before. So it has like more than doubled the amount of space on Europa. It's incredible. And so much of it looks so good. And so much of it. One complaint that I leverage against Destiny is, understandably, because of the story, so much of what you run into in the world is just so like rusted and broken down and decrepit, but kind of all of it looks broken. This stuff is pristine and brand new, and it looks like a just built science facility, and it's so cool. Like it's one of those things you haven't really seen in Destiny before. So now all of us in the Discord channel on Destiny is like going nuts about, hey, I found this thing. Hey, we're doing this. Oh, no, this thing just unlocked. So that's been a lot of fun. Destiny 2 continues to be good. Let's talk about the bad first for my last two games. Watch Dogs Legion.
Oh, no. Tell me you didn't get hit by a save bug.
Hey, guess what I got hit by?
Hit by the save bug.
So, Valhalla runs flawlessly. I've run into zero problems in like the day and a half I've been playing it. Watch Dogs Legion couldn't be more of the opposite problem. So, Watch Dogs opens up and has this big voiceover about like, oh, modern day London. There's a guy with like a very British accent. And they're like leaning into it immediately. And it tells you the story of, basically, it's telling you the story, hey, you didn't play the second one. Here's what happened. And
spoiler alert, most people didn't.
Right. And I like that they sort of are taking that tack on it because, hey, if you're listening to this, you didn't play the second one. Here's the things you missed. Here's what Bloom and CTOS is doing right now. So it's a pretty good introduction. I like how they kind of modify British, like Big Ben is now used as a terrorist warning billboard for what the terrorist level is at. Like it feels very Watch Dogs about a lot of this stuff. Mm-hmm. So I get in the main menu, change all the settings like I always do, like turn the gamma up by just like a smidge, because my TV is really dark. Turn on subtitles, turn on closed captioning, the whole thing. Start the game, you get the typical introduction thing where it's, here's how to go undercover, here's how to hack stuff, here's how to shoot. Haptic feedback on shooting is really weird. And here's your AI character who swears a lot, which is really weird hearing an AI do that. I get through it. You get the big story beat. The giant explosion happens. It's like 15 minutes in, so don't worry. And then as soon as the tutorial finishes and you like switch from one character to another, the game crashes. And I was like, okay, it's an open world Ubisoft game. I will load my save up. I'll just get back in. No big deal. Well, it keeps crashing. Every time I load the game up and the progress bar goes to the end, which thankfully SSDs, it takes like 10 seconds as opposed to like 3.5 minutes. It crashes at the same point. It's like, all right, to the internet. The problem was...
Your game's loading too fast.
No, I changed the gamma value. If you change if you change the value of the gamma setting before you get into the point where you choose your first character and it plops you down into London, the game will crash. So I loaded the game up, changed all the settings to default, and I was able to load into the game. And I was like, all right, that's weird. But no big deal. I turn up the brightness on my TV. That's a problem that I can resolve. I play for a whole bunch, and I was like, all right, things seem to be okay. I'm going to go to bed. I come back the next day, and I appear to have the same crashing bug. So everything is fine, just how it was. I close out of the game, open it back up. I was able to load the game back up. I'm at the beginning of the game. It's like, yeah, okay, fine. Okay. I haven't played that much. I will go through the tutorial again for both like the tutorial mission and then like here's the guy you first picked and go through all that stuff. Knock all that stuff out. When it plops me on the streets of London after that, it crashes. And then at that point, I can't get back in the game, so I uninstalled it. And insult to injury, the game is now $30. Yeah. I was
gonna say, good thing you only paid $29 for it.
Oh, except I bought the gold edition, so I bought it for $100. That's my fault. That's not anybody else's fault. The game is now $30. And
so the game's only been out for what, 2 weeks? A week?
Uh-huh. Yes.
Yeah, and it's already dropped down to like less than 50%. It's like, what
normally, I wouldn't be upset about because it's Black Friday. There's a bunch of sales. You want to have some brand new games on sale. That's fine. I normally wouldn't be mad about that, except it doesn't function. We're on version 1.06. So, like, it's gotten a significant number of patches. It just doesn't function. And apparently, PS4 version works fine, but I'm not going to play the PS4 version on my PS5 because I bought a PS5. I want to see all the ray tracing and the 60 frames and all the goodness, but it doesn't function. So I'm not mad about a game that I've been waiting a couple of years to play in a series that no one played the good one in. They just played the first bad game. I'm not mad about it. I promise. Grumble, grumble, grumble.
You're just disappointed.
I'm just really mad about it.
Now I can look at the entire series and be like, well, the second one may be good, but the first and third one apparently just suck and break, so...
the first one, not great, but full of promise. The second one is legitimately...
It functioned.
It functioned. It's got that going for it. Second one is legitimately really great. And the third one appears to not work. So... that's a bummer. So let's move on to happier things. I finished Bugsnax.
You say happier things, but the things I'm hearing is the Bugsnax isn't really a happier thing.
Well, Yeah. So I finished it in probably like 7 or 8 hours, largely because I kind of mainlined it. Bugsnax has a lot of problems. I largely like Bugsnax, but there's this thing you're doing in the game. The main objective of the game is get everybody into the town so everyone can be friends again, and we'll find the explorer from the intro that invited you to the island, because she has gone missing in the time between you leaving and then you arriving on the island. That stuff is largely good. A lot of people in the game will say, hey, I don't like this about myself. I want you to capture X number of snacks, and I want you to feed them to me so I can change how I look or what I can do. All that stuff is good. Like the puzzle aspect of it, of how do I catch this thing when it seems to fight back against my traps, or how do I manipulate two different snacks into sort of bumping into each other so you can kind of change both of those snacks. Like a lot of the interplay between the snacks themselves are really good. And every
girlfriend reviews posted about how like it's a really good backseat gaming thing, because she came up with the idea to dip one of the strawberry snacks in chocolate because this bird loves chocolate strawberries, and then feed it to the bird to get the bird to come down.
Yep. It's really good for that. And it's every time you pick up a new snacks and hearing it say its name through the controller speaker, it is funny legitimately every time. The problem I have with the game is the ending sequence, which is like maybe the last hour and change, where you're sort of picking up, no spoilers for anyone, you're picking up these like fragments of a letter that this explorer left throughout the game. You start picking them up pretty early, and you pick up enough early on that you're sort of like, okay, as soon as I see this thing, I know the solution to it, because I have enough pieces to sort of say, well, process of elimination, here's how to solve it. You find that thing pretty early on, but the game kind of keeps dragging out you solving that puzzle. Like one of the characters has you solve it incorrectly to push her storyline forward, but it's like, I have these pieces. I could give them to you to solve the puzzle correctly. Like, I know what we need. You just bring this guy over here and solve the puzzle. Like, I know how to do it. But in the interest of character development, which on one hand I appreciate, they really drag it out. It's like, I just want to get to the point where I see what's inside this thing, because that's what we've been working towards for a while. So that's the point where I felt like Bugsnax sort of started overstaying its welcome, because it was like, well, I want to get to the end thing to see it. The big talk of the town is the ending. Not going to spoil it. I liked the ending a lot, largely because Bugsnax as a game, if you're not paying attention to it, you probably won't see the ending coming. But if you are paying attention to it, Bugsnax is asking a really interesting question, which is, reminder, this game is rated E for everyone. This game is asking the question of, if you were able to very easily modify away the parts of you that you don't like, doesn't that become a little too attractive? Isn't that too appealing of a prospect to resist? Which, again, this is Bugsnax, the Blue Sky game. And I think the ending is the logical conclusion to that, which I think is really, really interesting. And I think the questions that it poses about that continues to be really interesting. But I feel like if you're just and I don't blame you for doing this, if you're just like, LOL snacks, this one's a can of pop, ha, then like the ending is just like, what the hell just happened here?
Is the ending just a trailer to Cyberpunk 2077 with a pre-order link?
No,
like a little bit.
No, thankfully it's better than that. But like there's a very logical conclusion, and it goes all the way where it's going to go, and it's a little bit sweet, in a kind of weird and twisted way. And Bugsnax is really hard because I really liked like 75% of this game, but when it started overstaying its welcome, I got really, really, really annoyed with it, because it wouldn't just like take the training wheels off and let me get to the ending, like let me get to the thing that this game has been teasing the entire game, and that was kind of a bummer. But I was expecting to go through and get the platinum for this, but I don't think I'm going to, because to get the platinum you have to catch each and every type of snacks, including all their variants. So it's like, here's the raspberry one, here's the white raspberry, and here's the black one, and like you got to catch all of those, and I don't know if I have it in me in 2020.
As Moon alluded earlier, that sounds like a good thing to get your daughter into.
Yeah, she really enjoyed it. I wish they had a more kid-friendly control scheme, because I feel like if your kid is like 8, they'll probably do okay with it. But my kid, there's so much like, I need to place this trap, and then I need to bring this snack over here to bring this other one over here that I want to trap, and then I gotta like grab it real quick, or like run over there and scoop it up before the 10 seconds is up. So there's like a lot of moving parts in the puzzle that aren't, it's all happening in real time. So like I think if you have a younger kid, that might be a little bit of a frustrating experience, where they're not like the two sticks together and running and dashing and scooping stuff up. I think that might be a little frustrating. But Bugsnax in the end, I think is a really good game. I was hoping it would be good, and I think it met my expectations. I like that it got really weird, and I like that it posed more of a question than LOL, I'm eating these snacks and my foot is now strawberry.
It does make me think of Gattaca, though.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, and it's I didn't expect it to address any of that stuff. I thought it was just LOL, now my foot's a Dorito, which is fine. That would have also been great, but I like that it tried to do something a little bit different, and I don't think it succeeded. I wish it had done some stuff differently, but it's a cool, weird, just unique thing, and we don't typically see stuff like this, especially on a console launch. So I think that alone is really impressive.
Last time we saw something like this, the Dreamcast came out.
Yeah, or like the first Katamari game, where it's just like, what even it? I can't stop playing it, but I can't explain it to anyone. This is super weird. So I think on that level, at the very least, especially with it being less than 10 hours, it's probably maybe 12 to 15 if you do everybody's side quests. It's not super long. Especially with it still being on PS Plus for PS5 this month. I really recommend people just giving it a shot and just trying it. Even if you don't finish it, that's okay. But like it's a cool, fun, especially having some people around, like you were saying, Moon, where it's just like, oh, what if you do this with this guy and let's see if that works. Oh, it did. All right, that's great. Because there's a couple different ways you can capture some of the later game snacks. I think that's cool. But we're coming up to top 10, so I guess I got to figure out how I feel about it pretty quickly. I guess.
Is it top 10 worthy?
Yeah, is it top 10 worthy in a game where I think I've played 11 games? But yeah, I don't know. I know one of the games this year will not be in the top 10. That one's super easy. Even though it had
a good Legion.
No, I mean that's not in the running because I didn't finish it. Nine times out of 10, the only games I put on my list are games that I finished or like got to enough of a point where it's like, yeah, I have seen everything. So, yeah.
Just throw them all on a list and keep hitting randomized until you like the order.
Don't tempt me. Most years when I make my top 10 list, I like throw it against the wall and see how I feel. And most of the time it's really close because I kind of know what my top 1 is. I don't think I know this year. Or at least like the top 3 are kind of like wiggly, and then everything else kind of falls in place after that. It's like, well, is this better than this? No, not really. And it's like, well, this can move into number 10, and that'll be okay. Like, I'm not too upset about that. But this year's gonna be tough. I haven't played the games that I really wanted to play, and I was really looking forward to because of other stuff and general 2020-ness. So top 10 is really weird this year. Yeah. But that's all I've been playing this week, so let's take a break. Let's talk releases for the week of November 23rd, 2020. World of Warcraft Shadowlands comes out on PC and OS X. As an act of self-preservation, I know literally nothing about this. So
my question, is Shadowlands an existing DLC coming to World of Warcraft Classic, or is this a new DLC coming to World of Warcraft New?
The second one.
Okay.
I believe that World of Warcraft Classic continues to roll out the older content at like a pretty steady pace. I also don't know much about that for extra self-preservation.
I don't know what you mean. I didn't get up to level 80 as a priest in that game, I swear.
God, I played so much.
Dude, I never played World of Warcraft.
Thank God.
Never got in. It just never got in. MMO don't register with me at all for some reason. Like Final Fantasy 14 was the most time I ever put into an MMO.
I can't.
It's just because you haven't found the right MMO.
Yeah,
probably.
Every time I look at Final Fantasy 14, like my MMO brainworms are like, yes, it's available on PS5 and Xbox. You could just do it. And it's like, no, shut up, brainworms. Bring the Destiny 2 brainworms in here.
What's that MMO space game that's like Elite Dangerous?
You talking about Star Squadron or whatever it's called? It's never going to exist.
No. It's yes.
Oh God, no.
That's one that I've looked at until I found out that you carry your actual time as an actual inventory thing
as a currency.
And you can lose it. Yeah.
And I'm currency that you can buy in game, which can pay for your gameplay time, which you actually have to physically carry in your ships.
Yeah, and I said no to that. But everything about EVE Online looks awesome, which is why I got heavily into Elite Dangerous so that I didn't get into EVE Online.
Elite Dangerous, there has to be an end game, right?
Elite Dangerous is the taste. EVE Online is the injection.
Yeah. Just Dance 2021 coming out on PS5 and Xbox Series. And lastly, Star Renegades comes out on PS4. Don't forget that's on Game Pass. So
is that the roguelike I saw a commercial for on Twitter? I saw an ad for on Twitter, and I immediately was going to screenshot it and send it to you. I was like, no, Boston already knows about it. So
it's an RPG roguelike with the Nemesis system. So I am aware. It is. I installed it on my Series X last night. Which, again, Game Pass app is so nice, especially picking there's a little icon for my Series X and there's a little icon for my Xbox One, and it's very clear about which one is which and how much hard drive space is free. 2 thumbs up. Good job, Microsoft. Speaking of good job, IO Interactive, they of the the modern Hitman series, has announced that they are working on a brand new game. They were teasing it this week, and it's like, all right, yeah, here we go. Tease something, some Hitman VR or something, whatever. No, they're making a James Bond game, which thankfully the entire internet sang out in great choice. They're perfect for that.
Because spoiler alert, the Hitman games are just James Bond games.
Yep. The working title is Project 007. This is going to focus on Bond's origin story, where he sort of earning the 00 title, which I think is, I think there's something kind of interesting there. You could mine using IO's storytelling chops.
Boy, have I got a critical miss season for you, Boston.
That's right. Right. Let's go through all 55 Bond movies. Oh God. Yeah. I think this is a pretty natural fit. Very much like Larian making was it Baldur's Gate 3? I think that's them making that. I'm very, very interested in seeing what this is going to turn out to be. I sort of don't expect this to show up for a while, but I think the best way to build excitement for a new James Bond game, which we haven't had a good one of in decades.
Since the 64, most people agree.
Yeah, I think there have been like ones people enjoy since then. And like, let's be clear, a first-person shooter on the N64 is not good, but it was certainly beloved by everyone. I think this is one of those ones that's like, all right, you can... Even if you're not a James Bond fan, I think this is kind of one to keep an eye on.
It may not have been good, but I remember bringing my Nintendo 64 and the cartridge into high school.
Yep.
And all of us playing it during lunch with everyone bringing their own controllers.
Yeah, we had in college, the RA on our floor got so mad at us one day because we were, as you do, we were either sitting in one person's room and playing Marvel vs. Capcom 2 all day, or we're sitting in another person's room playing GoldenEye. And he said, please, I beg of you, just go outside for a while. Just go outside and do anything. I'm begging you. So we did what we 100% did. Put a card table outside, and all four of us sat outside and was playing GoldenEye. And I've never seen a human being be more mad at us enjoying video games in the sunshine. College. But that's all of our news stories this week because new consoles just launched and it's Thanksgiving here in the US. So like nobody has anything. So except for Just Dance, go play that. We don't have any questions this week, which means that's the end of our episode. We have a real pup episode where it's like 2 hours for the first part, about a hot 5 minutes for the second.
100%. Like, this is pup all over.
Yeah. You can visit us at tvgp.tv. Everywhere to find and follow us is on the right-hand side of the page. Don't forget the Discord server. Check out the new announcements channel where you can go fill out the form for both of the end of the year ones. Please go do that. Your help makes those episodes so much better. The more of you that go fill out that stuff, and each one of them, the top 10 one takes a minute. It's just a giant list of games. You pick one, you move on. The predictions one is just 3 or 4 predictions are required. You don't even have to fill out all of them if you don't want to. All of that stuff helps both of those episodes out so much. So the more people that can do it, the better it is. I super, super appreciate people taking time out of their day to go do that. And the merchandise store on the right-hand side of the page. Don't forget that as well. Patreon.com/E1M1. The ones are the numbers. Told you about all the good stuff at the top of the episode. $5 a month is the recommended tier. You get a whole lot of audio every week. Like We Roguelike It. Get 2-week early access to that. We Roguelike It is clipping along. We're on episode... We just recorded episode 107, which is crazy. And that show continues to be a blast. That features myself, Moon, and Monkey Senior. If you haven't listened to it, and if you don't like roguelikes, each episode is like 5 to 10 minutes. It's not a super long time investment. You should go listen. It's really good. You might find a great game to play like Everspace. Praise be the gunship. Yeah, like Hades. It's been a good year. It's been a good year for roguelikes. Go play Hades. Critical Misses, the show where Moon and I check out all the hits we've missed. We've been watching a lot of movies. We have some TV shows in the hopper that we could do, so we'll probably toss those in at some point. We're recording a theme season right now, our first theme season, which I don't think we have announced yet to patrons, so we'll keep that a secret. But that so far has been more fun than I was expecting. And I think that's it. Game Club is off for the month of December. We'll have a special episode coming out. Well, yeah,
Game Club has that episode coming out this week.
Right.
We'll have another episode coming out next month.
What a weird week. Yeah, so right now there should be the episode for Eichenfell coming out as soon as I finish it tonight. And then next month we'll be off. Yeah. Oof. Okay. I think that's it.
Don't
we'll
worry,
see you
we'll
all
get there eventually.
Next week. Yeah, I'll get it. Another 10 years and I'll have it.
Yep. Only 327 episodes to get it right left.
That's right. Till the end of once we hit those 4 digits. Show's done.
And the feeds break because you only put 001 in for the very first episode.
I know. I thought I didn't even think we'd get to double digits. We're gonna burn out on this show so early. We'll make it 5 episodes and we'll say it was fun and we'll move on with our lives. Whoops.
Yep. 14 years later?
Pretty much, yeah. Yep. So let's talk titles. Nimp, what do you have? We had a title-rich their first 30 minutes of this episode.
Yeah, there was a bunch of stuff going on.
Yep.
First one I have is There Is Life After Moon.
Yep.
Raising Your Own Death Flag.
Yep.
Boy Hour.
I love that one, but I think that gets a beat off.
I know, but
I'm going to write it down for the
history. I'm
going to write it down for the history books because it's very funny, but...
Yes,
the Irish...
I said that.
Yeah.
The Irish Hello.
Yes, that's not a good one.
The Destiny Honeypot.
Yep.
It's a Big Destiny Word. Auto Rifles That Roll This Way. And lol, my foot's a Dorito.
Lol, my foot's a Dorito. I like the SEO on that one. All right, Moon, how about you?
The Weird Part About Life. Weep in the Night. Boy Hour, The Irish Hello, The Destiny Honeypot. I changed the gamma value.
I changed the gamma value. That's how I become a superhero.
Yeah. I didn't bother writing down There's Life After Moon because I saw you go for the pen immediately.
I did, yeah. That's a good one. I've got a whole lot of There's Life After Moon, Raising Your Own Death Flag, Irish Hello, Destiny Honeypot, Boy Hour. I'm just going to X next to that one. Lol, my foot's a Dorito, and I changed the gamma value. So I feel like
it goes between 2 for me.
Okay.
Irish Hello and Destiny Honeypot. It's got to be one of those 2.
I'd be happy crossing off There's Life After Moon. I like Raising Your Own Death Flag a lot. I think the Irish Hello probably gets my vote. I think it's the punchiest.
I can understand that. I prefer Destiny Honeypot, but that's just because I think that's a great term phrase.
What do you think, Nimp?
I'm just making sure that the Irish Hello isn't some weird thing real quick.
I appreciate that. That is a good call.
Okay, no, it looks like we're safe. So.
Did you turn safe search off?
Oh, it's never on.
Okay.
Even at work.
Good.
Yeah, I'm good with Irish Hello or the Destiny Honeypot as well. Irish Hello, I just think is funny and kind of weirdly out of context.
Mm-hmm. That's sort of why I'm leaning towards it more. I think I'll circle the Irish Hello. It's really close. This is a tough one.
Well, as soon as those two came out, I was like, well, it's between those two for me. Like,
yeah.
What anybody else has said, it's definitely between those two.
Yeah, I'll circle Irish Hello. I think that out of the two, I think that one's funnier as a title. Okay.
I just have to get all of my grandfather's Irish jokes out of my mind right now, because...
There you go.
I'm debating whether or not to go with something an Irish person once said to me in an airport.
That's exactly why I have to get all of my because my grandfather was real Irish and had a lot of fun things and sayings, and none of those can be repeated right now.
No. Sadly.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got two, but I think I'm leaning towards one. I don't know how it's going to play. We'll see.
We can always cut it out.
It wouldn't be the first time you've done it.
That's right.
I will figure something out.
Okay. Starting in...
What I say, then you can definitely follow it on real quickly.
There you go. Starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 683 for November 23rd, 2020. The Irish Hello.
You say goodbye.
And I say hello.
Hello, hello.
Yeah.
There you go. Please don't sue us.
Please, the Beatles don't care.
That's right. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening and watching. We appreciate it. Please go fill out those 2 forms if you can. I don't collect like your email address or anything like that. It's anonymous, so which will bite us one of these years. But until then, it's totally anonymous now. So go fill that out. It helps us out a bunch. See you next week. Bye.
See ya. Bye.
And we start recording. Click.